Some things are better left untalked. I was traveling for work from Chicago to Atlanta on a Tuesday afternoon. I'm a logistics compliance consultant. I had already worked a long morning and just wanted to get to my hotel, eat something warm, and sleep. O'Hare International Airport was its usual chaos. Crowds everywhere, rolling luggage, announcements cutting through the noise. My flight was delayed, so by the time boarding started, everyone was irritated and tired. I boarded with my group and made my way down the narrow aisle of the plane, checking seat numbers overhead. Seat 17A, window seat. That was mine, but someone was already sitting there. He was an older man, maybe in his 60s, neatly dressed, calm, hands folded. The kind of person you wouldn't expect trouble from. I double-checked my boarding pass. 17A. I politely said, "Hey sir, I think you might be in my seat." He looked up at me slowly, not confused, not annoyed, just calm. He smiled and said, "Oh, that's strange. I've always sat here." That response caught me off guard. I laughed a little and said, "Yeah, but this one's mine today." He nodded, stood up without argument, and moved to the aisle seat across from me. 17C, no flight attendant involved. No drama. I sat down, but something felt off. As the plane taxied, I noticed he kept looking at me. Not staring, just brief glances. I tried to ignore it. Mid-flight, turbulence hit. Nothing major, but enough to make people uneasy. When I looked over again, his seat was empty. I assumed he had gone to the restroom. But when the seatbelt sign came back on, he still hadn't returned. I asked the flight attendant quietly, "Hey." The gentleman who was sitting there, did he move seats? She checked her tablet. "There's no passenger assigned to 17C, she said. I told her he had been sitting there since boarding. She shook her head slowly. This row was empty when I did my check. I felt a chill creep up my arms. When we landed in Atlanta, I watched every passenger exit the plane. I never saw him again. At baggage claim, I tried to shake it off. I rented a car and started driving out of the airport, following signs toward IE5 South. That's when I saw it, on a bulletin board, near the rental car exit, one of those cluttered community boards. Filled with flyers, there was a printed memorial notice. A familiar face. My chest tightened. It was him. The same man. Same calm expression. The notice read, "In loving memory, Benjamin Carter, 1959 to 2019. Cause of death, cardiac arrest. Location, mid-air medical emergency. Last recorded seat, 17A. Atlanta International Airport wishes to honor travelers lost in transit." 17A, my breath stopped completely. I pulled over and sat there, staring at the paper through the windshield. Then I remembered something. When I told him that was my seat, he didn't argue. He just moved. This event still haunts me. Should this have stayed untalked?